When you think about where the future of AI is being built, you're probably picturing some sterile lab, right? Or maybe a huge data center. Well, what if I told you it's actually being built somewhere you know very well, your own home? And in this explainer, we're going to dig into exactly how that's happening. Seriously, just take a second and think about this. What if all those little things you do every day, loading the dishwasher, folding some laundry, even just making a sandwich, what if that wasn't just another chore? What if it was actually a crucial part of teaching the next generation of intelligent machines? Because really, that's the wild idea we're diving into today. There's this new kind of AI. It's called embodied AI. Basically, it's intelligence that needs a physical body to, interact with the world. And for that kind of AI, your totally mundane everyday movements, they're incredibly valuable. I mean, they're quite literally gold. Okay, so to really get why your movements are so valuable, we first have to talk about the huge challenge robots are up against. We need to understand why they can't just learn everything from some perfect, clean computer simulation. I mean, just think about the stuff that fills our days, right? Washing dishes, cooking a meal, tidying up a room. We do this stuff so often, it's practically second nature. Yeah, these actions are so ingrained in us, so routine, we're basically on autopilot when we do them. We just know instinctively how much pressure to use on a sponge, or how to crack an egg with one hand, or just how to swerve around a chair without even thinking about it. And that brings us to this central, kind of mind-bending puzzle. How is it that a machine can beat the world's best chess player, but then it struggles just to pick up a coffee mug without completely crushing it? I mean, the gap between our intuitive physical skill and what a robot can do, it's just massive. So this huge challenge, it calls for a totally new approach. It needs a completely new kind of teacher. And guess what? That teacher is us. All right, let's break this down. Traditional AI, the stuff that powers Google search or those big language models, it learns from abstract data, tons of text, code, images. But this new embodied AI, the kind that actually has to move around in the real world, it has to learn in a totally different way, by watching and doing. So here's the bottom line. You can't teach a robot how to wash a plate by giving it a textbook. It's just not going to work. It needs to see it done. And yeah, simulations are helpful, but they can't capture the infinite, messy reality of our world, like the way a soapy plate slips, or how you have to reach around some clutter on the counter. Robots need data that shows them the physical reality of how we just improvise. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how does this actually work? How do our messy, real-world actions get transformed into clean, usable data that you can actually train an AI on? Well, this is where projects like the Home Activity Video Collection from a company called Kadata come into play. They're basically building the system to capture this exact kind of information. And the process is surprisingly simple. Step 1, people just record their daily tasks, from their own first-person point of view. Step 2, that video gets structured, it gets labeled. And step 3, and this is the cool part, contributors get rewarded for their data. And that whole exchange is tracked on a secure, transparent digital ledger. And what this system creates is actually something pretty profound. It's a whole new economic model, a value loop, that directly connects our daily lives to real economic value. Yeah, this quote really nails it. Think about all the invisible, unpaid labor that happens in a home every single day. Well, this system doesn't just see that work, it actually gives it a tangible, measurable value in this new AI economy. Okay, let's actually build this value loop out piece by piece. It all starts right here with the simple, everyday stuff, the cooking, the cleaning, just living. Then, those actions are captured and transformed. So what was just a fleeting moment in your kitchen, it suddenly becomes structured, valuable data. It's like a digital record of physical knowledge. And that unique data? Well, that becomes the fuel. It's literally the stuff used to train and build this new kind of embodied intelligence. We're talking about robots that can finally start to understand and operate in our complex, messy, human world. And here it is, the final crucial step. The value that's created by that new intelligence, it flows right back to the people who provided the data in the first place. The loop is complete. It's clean, it's direct. I really love this way of thinking about it. Our behavior isn't just behavior anymore. It's becoming a raw material, a fundamental piece of the supply chain for building the entire next wave of AI. So, all of this leads to what might be the biggest shift of all. It's about how our relationship with technology is fundamentally changing. For years, we've all been giving away our data to big tech platforms without really getting paid for the incredible value we're creating. The big difference here is that the act of participating, of teaching, is recognized and rewarded right from the very beginning. And this, right here, is really the key takeaway. It's a massive shift in our role. We're moving from being passive users of AI tools that other people build to being the active shapers, or the teachers who get to decide what these systems learn and ultimately what they're going to become. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. If our everyday movements, our habits, all those little solutions we come up with for small daily problems, if all of that becomes the actual code that teaches these new intelligent machines how to exist in our world, then what kind of future are we, all of us together, actually writing?